We are looking at graphing a function using transformations, vertical shifts, and horizontal shifts. And we're using the function f of x equals the square root of negative x plus 2 minus 1. Now, we previously done an example where we had the negative outside, but we're going to look at an example now to see what happens when the negative is on the inside of the function. And again, we're going to start by looking at the parent function, which is f of x equals the square root of x. And so if we look at that graph actually looks something like this. Now, we're going to look, first of all, before we do the reflection, which is what this does, this reflects the graph about the y-axis. But we're going to apply this transition or transformation. In this case, it's going to be a horizontal shift. And when it's on the inside like this, it shifts it opposite of what we think. When it's positive, we typically would think it would shift it to the right, but it actually shifts it to the left. So this graph now becomes, and let me change color so it makes it a little more evident here. This graph becomes like this without applying the negative to it. Shifting it plus 2 places, it shifts it to the left 2 places. Now we go and we apply the negative to it. And what the negative does inside is it reflects it about the y-axis. So it takes this point that is here and it actually puts it here. And it takes, for example, this point here and vice versa all the way through so that the graph becomes like that. And then we apply the shift on the outside. And the outside, remember, shifts it up and down, and it goes exactly the way we typically think it would. If it's negative, it shifts it down. If it's positive, it shifts it up. In this case, it's negative. So the shift is going to go here down -1, and the graph looks something like that. Now, to verify that, I'm going to go to the TI Inspire to show you basically to verify this. So I've already got a function in there. To put that function in, it's going to be control and the squared function to give me the square root, the sine key x plus 2. And then I have to arrow to the right to get outside of the function and subtract 1. And when I graph it, notice that's the graph that I just sketched out for you momentarily. So that verifies my graph. This is the graph that we were looking at.